Hello folks, Typhon Carter here, and I bring to you our DPP Revival Invitational series. This is a round 5 losers bracket matchup between Fakes and Crying. Fakes, somebody who's been fighting off elimination since round 2 onwards, and Crying has also been fighting off elimination since I believe round 3 onwards. So both players have made a nice run for themselves so far, and unfortunately somebody's gonna have to go home today. And I mean, again, like we're getting pretty deep into this tournament. You guys both know these players. Let's jump right into this. Jirachi leads Zapdos lead. Jira could be a bazillion things, going to trick here, and Fake's going to sub, so we gotta be forced to switch out. Gotta go into Hippowdon, but Jirachi's gonna get rocks up, and then we have the Scarm. This could be Mix gone, or sorry, Jirachi Scarm with Mix Flygon perhaps, but Celebi's gonna be revealed. It's T-Wave, so yeah, this is classic Paraspam from Fakes. And then Tedcrow being the spinner of choice here. I expect there to be like a Jirachi, especially if this is T-Spikes. Probably like that sub Jirachi set that everybody hates so much. And then probably a second steal of some kind. But Tedcrow's gotta go down surprisingly early. And Jirachi's gonna get the Thunder off. Gonna get Whirlwinded out, but that Scarm is as good as out of commission. For the most part. As, yeah, this Celebi has Hidden Power Fire, nothing too surprising so far. And, yeah, Crying bring out Clefable, Seismic Toss. I mean, yeah, I wonder if this is a Lati Flygon Rotom on this team. That's what I wonder right now, because that, I mean, this is like a stuff. Oh, getting that Choice Scarf knocked off is gonna work out in Fakes' favor. I don't know if that was the play for Crying. I think Crying probably could have just kept Seismic Tossing there. I get why you want to knock, but yeah, so good awareness from Fakes to do that, and then go Roar into Jirachi, and Jirachi's probably go U-turn out, go into Rotom, and go EQ again. So this Rotom probably Rest Talk Rotom, and then yeah. T-Boat's there. Could go into Jirachi. Again, you don't really have a lot of great switch-ins. I probably would have just gone Clef there, played the mirror out, but I get why Crying went there, but I don't really think that was the play. Jirachi's good. Okay, yeah, we could be in for a long one. And yeah, Flygon's the last here. I'm almost certain the last on this team is Latias, because this is a style of team that I've ran myself before. Hippo's gonna be threatened out by Draco Meteor. And, oh, okay, just got EQ there. And, oh, I don't know why Crying just swapped out there. Yeah, I would just Draco'd there, personally. I don't see a reason why you wouldn't just try a Draco or even Fire Blast as a mid-ground. Yeah, no reason not to do that. I think that was a misplay on Crying's end, and that was a huge missed opportunity, just in general. And Jirachi's gonna be pivoted back out. This Clefable's gonna get the wish off. It's good, yeah. And now the Hippo is like pretty healthy again, so again, not really happy with how Crying is playing this so far. I mean, okay, sure, but Hippo's just gotta heal this off. Like, where's the game plan here? We got Draco again. I mean, sure. Slacks off. This is... Yeah, I think Crying's just not playing this a little bit strange. And yeah, like, and the thing with Flygon is that, you know, a lot of people will often say, oh, Flygon can be like really hard to switch in, but really sometimes it, like, you ever see that meme with Potential Man? Yeah, that can be Mixed Flygon sometimes. And generally, I mean, because Crying lost his Scarm early, there's a reason why Mixed Flygon really wants Spikes. And I think letting the Jirachi just kind of let a Thunder rip on on you, I think, was just like Crying maybe not being aware that the Jirachi could have been Thunder, because if you see Tentacruel, because to be fair, Tentacruel is a very niche pick, but if you think about the type of sets that, you know, Jirachi would fit on these kind of teams, you know, like Thunder, like if this is Sub-CM Jirachi, then the reason is that it really loves T-Spike support, because that way it can brute force past something like Swampert, for example. So that's like kind of things you have to think about, like when you're looking at team structures, and like just thinking about, oh hey, what set might this be? And it's gonna roar out into this Rotom, and again, Rotom can't really do anything in this matchup, and really I think the main takeaway here is one is like generally how much, how I guess relatively high maintenance Mixed Flygon has to be in order to function. And two, just because, like, you know, Mixed Flygon can, you know, 2-hit KO everything with hazards up, it's like you still have to actually get the hazards up, and oh, there's the sub. And now we begin. Got Iron Head this Jirachi down. I mean, this is pretty safe for Fakes to attempt, because, like, you know, what else is Crying going to do? I mean, you could try to go into Rotom, but the problem is if you go into Rotom, like Crying is going to do right now, this means that the Jirachi can just start CMing up, and then basically just stat checking and rest. Oh geez, I think Crying might have actually just lost this game. Almost on the spot, but it's gonna depend on the Flygon. I mean, luckily the Flygon can actually take a hit here. Iron Heads again. I suppose this is one way to try to deal with this Jirachi, but the problem is that if Flygon tries to EQ at any point, you risk Life Orb Recoil actually working against you here. Got EQ here, going to have... Oh, that is really bad. Oh geez, okay. Crying's only chance of actually getting out of this just went out the window with that Iron Head crit. Which really sucks, because Crying could have at the very least forced Fakes to switch to Jirachi out and not want to take that risk. But because of that, but even then, even in the long term, I'm gonna keep letting this play out for a little bit. Even in the long term, you would have ran into the problem of the fact that Jirachi could just come back in later, and then it's like, good game, nice knowing you. And now Crying lost their main win condition, more or less, as a result. Got Ice Beam here. And at this point, it's just a matter of Fakes finding an opportunity to get the Jirachi into the game again, and then setting up, doing the whole song and dance of, you know, letting Sub Jirachi do its thing, and then winning the game from there. And I'm gonna speed this up because, again, like, this is like a very slow death. And I guess where did it go wrong? I guess for Crying in this case, you know, Crying could have, as I stated earlier, should have probably just Draco'd on the Hippo like very early on in the game when it was at like 47%. Take the KO, maybe get rid of the Zapdos while you're at it, and then try to look for those windows that way. And then the second thing I think went wrong for Crying was letting the Skarmory just get hit by Thunder. So again, I think that was just just getting knowledge gap there, which can happen sometimes. As again, like, Crying isn't really a traditional DPP player, like very good player, to say the least, but yeah, so I think that's just kind of where it went wrong. And again, like, Rotom, I mean, okay, I guess one way Crying could get out of this is if for some reason Fakes decides to switch the Jirachi into the Rotom, or letting the Jirachi get parried for absolutely no reason. But again, like, Fakes is a very patient player. Oh, Hippo's gonna get frozen, but I don't think that's gonna matter too much in the long run. I mean, okay, sure, it gets a crit, but it's just gonna wish its way back up. And just got U-turn here. I mean, okay, sure. The other way Fakes can throw this, I suppose, is if he somehow, some reason, lets Jirachi get knocked. That's the other way Fakes can throw this game. Great entry point there. Anticipating the soft boil, going to sub up here, and now it's just a matter of getting the Jirachi just brute force its way past everything, or I guess have enough iron heads to pull the magic off. Thunder misses there, but that's not really a problem, to be honest, because you can just keep setting up comm mines and bring Rotom in here. Again, Crying can't really do anything about this, if we're being frank here. Especially now that it's at +2, T-Ball ain't breaking this sub. I'll tell you that much. And I mean, yeah, that was from prior damage, but yeah, it's just got sub up again, and then now it's, I mean, you need a bazillion consecutive crits to get out of this. That is pretty much, yeah, there isn't much to say, and it's just a matter of when Fakes wins. Because, like, mind you, like at +4, those Thunders are going to really hurt. Right? Like, it doesn't matter if you resist it or whatnot. And yeah, Crying can try doing this all they want, but Thunder's gonna do 57%. I mean, you land 2 in a row, this game is a wrap. And well, I guess Crying's last hope is to try to, that is definitely not how I would go about it. Oh, I guess what Crying's trying to do is get Reflect up. And oh, just gotta get flinched again. And Fakes is gonna land a Thunder, try to conserve some Iron Head PP, and Crying's going to forfeit. So Fakes gonna win this game 1. This was, to be honest, not the most interesting game in the world, and this just felt more like Crying just kind of misplayed this. Again, like, no reason to let the Jirachi let Thunder rip, like. And you could say it's hindsight's 50-50, but again, you got, again, team recognition or structure recognition, right? Anyways, that said though, let's go into game 2. Here we go, game 2. Red Steel lead, Starmie lead. Starmie could be Specs here. Fakes has got Protect here, try to scout this out. And, that look, oh no, it's Life Orb Starmie instead. Which is like kind of a forgotten classic of a Starmie lead. But Protect here. And Meta's gonna get rocks out. Fakes is going to let the T-Wave rip. And Crying bringing out blue offense perhaps. Starmie meta Zong. And then this Zong is going to EQ here. That's not too surprising, but Donphan is going to come in. Reggie Dawn, again, has been kind of a core that's really taken over this past Invitational. As a really, I mean, Donphan's been on a steady rise for a while, and then you got Rotom here. Yeah, I think this is just blue offense from Crying. Crying got a trick here into a Choice Scarf T-Tar, so that's gonna be a free pursuit trap if I've ever seen one. Rotom's gonna go down, but it's gonna invite Crying's own Tyranitar in. And T-Tar's probably gonna DD up here, but Fakes has his own Gyarados in response. Oh, Aqua Tail. This might be crunched Aqua Tail Fire Punch T-Tar. And this Gyarados get T-Wave off. And then gonna bring the Tyranitar in. And Crying's going to immediately switch out. Gonna go into Dragonite here. And this D-Knight might be Mixed Knight. And going to scout out the Ice Punch. Probably scouting out Stone Edge, but same outcome really. And Meta's going to Meteor Mash into what looks to be a bulky Gyarados. Or like a Gyarados with some bulk investment. Oh, it's a Rest Gyro, which explains why the Meteor Mash did so little. This is Rest Talk T-Wave Gyro, which can be an absolute menace to break sometimes because some teams just don't really have a good way to break defensive Gyro. Like we see here. Where if you look at Crying's team, the only methods Crying has is, well, the Starmie with Explosion, T-Bolt, or you know, mixed D-Knight, assuming that's what Crying's D-Knight set is. And Fakes is probably gonna get Rocks up again. Could also T-Wave here, but instead gonna play it straight. Probably will eat this Fire Blast, and just gotta get T-Wave off. So that Fire Blast kind of miss kind of sucked, but to be honest though, oh, it's a Roost D-Knight, which is actually pretty cool. Big fan of that kind of set because it's usually pretty solid in the stall, and a good Jirachi insurance, like, you know, last Pokemon Jirachi, like just Iron Head flinching everything. And then Metagross gonna take this pretty comfortably. The problem here, gotta be forced to explode here. Fake's probably happy to take that trade, but Crying can't really stay in. Going to be a nice crunch mid-ground there by Fakes. Gonna go back into his own T-Tar. However, Fakes has his own Donphan that can respond pretty comfortably. But instead, going to make the heads-up play here to catch the Aqua Tail and cover with Latias. Latias probably gonna threaten the Surf. T-Bolt also works too. And gonna go into Scizor. Scizor last here. Scizor's going to survive this explosion, and Scizor could do significant damage in this state. And Scizor's going to make the Starmie KO itself with Life Orb Recoil thanks to Bullet Punch putting it in range. And now Donphan can threaten with... Oh, just gotta get rid of that. And, oh, that full para kind of sucks because I think Draco would have still done significant damage. And gonna be able to get the spin off and consecutive full paras. This might be a wrap. D-Knight's gonna heal back up, but it's gonna be threatened out by Ice Punch. And Crying can't really do anything here, so Crying's last ditch effort is to DD up here and get a bazillion crits, or not, I suppose. Aqua Tail again. Is this Scarf Aqua Tail T-Tar? I'm not sure. It could be, but I mean, there's no Lumberry, so yeah, this is a wrap. Fakes is gonna win this 2-0. And Fakes was just able to outlast Crying pretty effortlessly, to be frank. Especially with, really this game you see the power of a defensive Gyarados, where it's able to keep something like Bronzong, Metagross, and T-Tar, like half of Crying's team pretty comfortably. Which is like really huge, especially for Fakes. And then you had like this very scary bulky offense trio of Registeel, Donphan, and Gira just holding the fort down for Fakes, where he was able to safely pivot into a lot of things. And you really see how a lot of these teams aren't necessarily adequately equipped to take on something like Registeel, so this is an off-meta pick that's just really shined this past Invitational as a result. That said though, if you guys enjoyed these videos, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.